Oh my gosh. Well, woohoo! It is time. We are finally here and we are so excited to have you. That's my way of welcoming you to our massive Big Bonanza Book Reveal. Voila! So I want to start off with a wonderful announcement, and then I'm going to give you a little information about our programs that go with the books, and then we'll dive right into the book reveal, okay? So first of all, something new is happening this year that we're really excited about. Last year, because of COVID, so many of you joined Brave Writer. You became members of our community. You purchased our products. You joined this homeschooling effort. And because of that massive, gorgeous, union that occurred between the COVID schoolers and the homeschoolers and the hybrid schoolers, we discovered that there were communities right here in Cincinnati that we could help, that would enable them to have the same kind of access to great education, reading and writing that we offer to all of you. We started a fund that we call the Brave Learner Fund, and we put a percentage of our profits into that fund so that we can support reading and writing instruction, equity in education, and online learning, our three key values that guide how we run Brave Writer. The Greater Cincinnati Foundation hooked us up for this summer with a program that is called, listen to this name, Summer Camp Reading. Summer Camp Reading. Now, when I first met the founders of this organization, they immediately said to me, not summer school reading, this is a camp. We expect our children to fall in love with books. And I said, okay, I'm sold. You guys, that's literally who we are. Summer Camp Reading has been around for 10 years. They have 16 locations in Cincinnati. They are branching out to other cities, and they are growing their online presence for communities around the globe. They have a need of $29,000 to fund this current project. So Brave Writer is donating half of the funding, $15,000, and we are inviting you to help make up the other $15,000. If you would like to participate in this amazing project, simply go to bravewriter.com/donation, and you will be taken to the blog post that has the donate button. The one thing you'll want to do is indicate that you are a member of Brave Writer in their little form that you fill out. It is a tax deductible donation. And Cindy and I are going to visit one of the sites in June, and we'll give you a firsthand glance at how they are providing reading and writing instruction to second, third, and fourth graders from our under-resourced communities here in Cincinnati. So that was our first big news, and I am absolutely thrilled that we have this opportunity to partner with Summer Camp Reading. Now, let's get on to the business at hand. Today, we are talking about books that are related to learning, to read, to write, to value literature. We are focused on kids between the ages of 8 and 12. The way Brave Writer thinks about writing is in three ways. There is the literature that we learn to read that helps grow our vocabulary and helps us get in touch with the world, and that enhances our mechanical skills, spelling, punctuation, grammar, literary devices. Then there's original thought, which are the ideas in our heads that we transcribe for ourselves. And then there are writing projects or assignments that combine the mechanics with our thoughts to create a writing project. Today, we're going to talk about literature and mechanics. These programs that we are writing for these books, they last for a month, 4 weeks for each book. There are 10 books for each program, and you will receive these once a month on the first of each month. You will be given a private password protected space that you log into, and then you will download those files on the first of each month. For all of you who purchase either the full year program of the DART, which is our 8 to 10-year-old product, or the Arrow, which is our 11 and 12-year-old product, you will automatically be added to the Brave Learner Home, our membership community. And that community provides you training, support, and coaching. And it also provides you with a bunch of new friends to celebrate books, to do this journey together. So by the end of today, if you determine that this is the course you want to take for your family, I hope you'll sign up quickly, because we are doing a big welcome to all the new Brave Learner Home members on Friday of this week. The Brave Learner, the Brave Writer products, the Dart and the Arrow, do have samples, and they also are available for you to look at in more detail after this webinar inside of our store. So at the end, I'll recap those details for you. The titles from last year, if you were a subscriber or a program purchaser from last year, you have another whole year to download those arrows and darts. So don't worry, they're not going anywhere tomorrow. We give you 2 years. I do recommend downloading them though. Once they are on your computer, you do not have to go back to grab them from us, but they are available for 1 more year. Any other questions, I'm gonna let our staff handle inside the Facebook chat and inside the Zoom chat. And now, are you ready? The thing that you have arrived for. Okay, we need more confetti. Ready? Woo! Time for the book reveal. Okay, here we go. So the way we do it is like this. I will say the name of a month, and then we will look at the dart for 8 to 10-year-olds for that month, and then the arrow for 11 and 12-year-olds, okay? And then we'll do September, and then we'll do October, just like that. Now I have to read because I don't have these all memorized, but I do have my notes right here. All right, so see if you can guess the very first dart of the 2021-2022 school year for August. A certain canine sets out on a dangerous journey in search of his long-lost sister with the help of his 2 best friends. As a hurricane approaches and time is running out, this little guy finds courage he never knew he had and learns the true meaning of friendship and family. Anyone guess? One and Only Bob by Catherine Applegate. Return to the unforgettable world. Here she is. Whoa! The One and Only Bob by Catherine Applegate. Return to the unforgettable world of the Newbery Medal-winning and #1 New York Times best-selling novel, The One and Only Ivan, now a major motion picture, in this incredible sequel starring Ivan's best friend, Bob, who is a dog. Now, if you've already read this book, that might be comfortable for you for August, because you can just dive right in and do all of the, mechanics and literature stuff and not even worry about having to read the book. A nice way to ease back into the school year. So the dart, the one and only Bob. All right. Who's ready for the arrow? Okay, here we go. We're kicking off this year's arrow with a fantasy adventure for your 11 and 12-year-olds. The main character is on a hunt for her missing brother and discovers a secret invitation to the Bureau of Supernatural Affairs, which she believes is an organization with the key to locating her brother. If only she can wrap her head around the idea of magicians, fairies, aliens, and other supernatural creatures as being real. Now she must compete for a spot against kids who've known about magic their whole lives. No matter how hard she tries, Amari can't seem to escape their intense doubt and scrutiny. With an evil magician threatening the supernatural world and her own classmates thinking she's an enemy, Amari has never felt more alone. But if she doesn't stick it out and pass the tryouts, she may never find out what happened to her brother. Introducing, Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. This book comes highly recommended by many Brave Writer families. We heard about it over and over. It's perfect for fans of Percy Jackson, Tristan Strong, and Artemis Fowl. I hope you will enjoy kicking off your year with a real page turner. All righty. 2 down. September. Who's ready? Okay. The Dart. A talented painter of traditional alpana patterns, patterns used to decorate homes for special occasions and celebrations. But this industrious soul wants to earn money to help her family, like her best friend Salim does for his family. When Naima's rash effort to help puts her family deeper in debt, she draws on her resourceful nature and her talents to bravely save the day. Introducing Rickshaw Girl by Mitali Perkins. Rickshaw Girl. Yay, some of you know it. That's awesome. There will be a list of all of these books and photos and everything after it's over in our store, so don't worry. So the second dart is Rickshaw Girl. The second arrow is special because it is the book that kicked off Poetry Tea Time, but it's not a book of poetry. Does that alarm you? It is adjacent to poetry, however. In fact, this volume became a cornerstone of the Bogart family child education. Introducing Leon Garfield's Shakespeare Stories. Here, 21 of the Bard's plays are refashioned into stories that are true to the wit, the humor, the wisdom, the sublime heights, the terrifying depths, and above all, the poetry of their great originals. What I love so much about this book is that Garfield borrows some of the original writing of Shakespeare right into the stories, and it makes phenomenal copy work. Not only that, once you've read one of these stories, and let me just show you, there are pictures inside which make it really fun to read. Once you've done some of these stories, you can actually go to the original Shakespeare plays and compare. Go ahead and read a scene or grab a quote and let your kids see the correspondence. It's such a fun book. So I hope you'll enjoy it. We started with Midsummer Night's Dream when my kids were little, and we just fell in love with Leon Garfield. He's such a brilliant writer. All right. Hooray! So much fun. I'm having fun. Is everybody having fun? We might need more confetti. Okay. Woo! I hope your kids are eating really sweet, fun things. All right. Yes, there's never enough confetti if you ask me. October. Okay, let me preface the Dart October book by saying this about it. Dawn Smith, who is the director of publishing, and by the way, selected all these books. She read over 100 books last year to get this collection for us. She is a brilliant reader, a fabulous thinker, a gorgeous writer, and the deepest heart for our families. And when she found this book for the Dart, she almost cried. She's like, Julie, it is the ideal Dart book. It's what we've been searching for. Okay, so with that great introduction, let me read you a little bit about this book. No one wants a skunk. They are unwelcome on front stoops. They should not linger in important rock rooms. Skunks should never, ever be allowed to move in. But Skunk is Badger's new roommate, and there is nothing Badger can do about it. Here he is, Skunk and Badger, the odd couple. They say it's Wallace and Gromit meets Winnie the Pooh. And it is filled with Amy Timberlake's full color and black and white illustrations. Writing. Oh, no, is that right? No. You guys, I'm tired. The Caldecott medalist John Klassen did the illustrations, and Amy Timberlake wrote the book. Okay, but I want to show you some of these beautiful pictures. Here's a good example. Isn't it adorable? And they're going to be so much fun to read. I'm really excited for you to share this. Oh, and it is the beginning of a series, which we really enjoy, getting you into new series. I know how much you love that. All right, so that's the Dart for October. October for the Arrow. Are you ready? This book is especially interesting to me for two reasons. One, I love the author. She is a gifted poet, probably one of the most gifted poets for middle grade, young adult in our current era. And it's about one of my favorite subjects, which happens to be football. Are you ready? For as long as ZJ can remember, his dad had been everyone's hero. As a charming, talented pro football star, he's as beloved to the neighborhood kids he plays with as he is to the millions of adoring sports fans. But lately, life at ZJ's house is anything but charming. His dad is having trouble remembering things and seems to be angry all the time. ZJ's mom explains it's because of all the head injuries his dad has sustained during his career. ZJ can understand that, but it doesn't make the sting any less real when his own father forgets his name. As ZJ contemplates his new reality, he has to figure out how to hold on tight to family traditions and recollections of the glory days, all the while wondering what their past amounts to if his father can't remember it. It's a stirring discussion of the effects of CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I can never say this word, encephalopathy. This book is Before the Ever After by Jacqueline Woodson. And some of you who've been in our program for a while have read other books by her, like Brown Girl Dreaming. She is a phenomenal writer. Like, you won't want to put this book down. It's not a super long book, and it's written in poetry, which we love to include a variety of genres so that you give your kids a chance to experience different kinds of writing. Awesome. All righty. Moving on to November. November in our American culture likes to honor and celebrate the Native American tradition during that month. And Dawn has picked two beautiful books for us to share. The first one, this 12-year-old's life has suddenly changed. While he and his best friend are hunting, his friend is kidnapped by men from a neighboring tribal nation, and the boy barely escapes. Everyone in his village fears more raids and killings. The 5 nations of the Iroquois have been at war with one another for far too long, and no one can remember what it was like to live in peace. This boy is so angry that he wants to seek revenge for his friend, but before he can retaliate, a visitor with a message of peace comes to him in the woods. This book is none other than The Peacemaker by Joseph Brucek. And some of you will have read other books by Brucek. He is a well-known Native American Own Voices author. This book is beautiful. I love, love, love the cover. Can you see it? I want to give you time so your kids can really take it in. Also, not super long. So November, with all of your holiday prep, will be easy to share this book. Okay, that's the dart. And then the arrow for November is another one, a collection of stories. In a high school gym full of color and song, people dance, sell beadwork and books, and celebrate friendship and heritage. Young protagonists meet relatives from far away, mysterious strangers, and sometimes one another, plus one scrappy dog. They are heroes of their own stories. I see some of you have guessed it. Edited by award-winning and best-selling author Cynthia Leitich Smith, this collection of intersecting stories by both new and veteran Native writers bursts with hope, joy, resilience, the strength of community, and Native pride. Introducing Ancestor Approved. And what I love about this, we're introducing your kids to yet another genre, short stories. A book like this doesn't only mean novel, it can mean a collection. And sometimes a collection reveals viewpoints and additional narrative tropes that you can't find when you're doing a single narrative arc. So I think this book is going to just be precious for your families. Very excited for you to read it. Okay. Oh, we need more confetti, someone says? Well, I am happy to honor that request. Woo! Here. Woohoo! Confetti! Okay, let's go on. All right, December, we are almost halfway there. The next book for your 8 to 10-year-old crowd is about a mouse, a hotel, a forest, and lurking danger. When Mona the mouse stumbles across the wondrous world of Heartwood Hotel in the middle of a storm, she desperately hopes they'll let her stay. As it turns out, Mona is precisely the maid they need at the grandest hotel in Fernwood Forest, where animals come from far and wide for safety, luxury, and comfort. But the Heartwood Hotel is not all acorn souffle and soft moss-lined beds. Danger lurks, and as it approaches, Mona finds that this hotel is more than a warm place to spend the night. It might also be a home. This new chapter book tells a tale of friendship, courage, and community with exquisite black and white drawings. Let's see if I can find you a good example throughout. Such a delight. And guess what? Book 1 of a series. So if your kids get excited about the Heartwood Hotel, they can just be turned loose and go to the library and read the next one and the next one and the next one. Okay. Our next book for the Arrow, and this is in the month of December, in case you need to keep track, really struck me. I mean, this book is out of this world. In fact, it's extraterrestrial. In fact, it's about living on another planet. Bell has spent his whole life, all 11 years of it, on Mars. But he's still just a regular kid. He loves cats, any kind of cake, and he's curious about the secrets the adults in the US colony are keeping. Like, why don't they have contact with anyone on the other Mars colonies? And why are they so isolated? When a virus breaks out and the grown-ups all fall ill, Belle and the other children are the only ones who can help. It's up to Belle, a regular kid in a very different world, to uncover the truth and save his family, and perhaps unite an entire planet. Mars may be a world away, but in the hands of Jennifer L. Holmes, beloved and best-selling author of The 14th Goldfish, it can't help but feel like home. This book is called The Lion of Mars by Jennifer L. Holmes. For families who have multiple ages of kids, some of you might wonder, we're halfway through right now, by the way, of the Dart and the Arrow. Some of you may wonder, how do I choose which level? Always aim for the middle. So if you've got more kids who are older and some who are younger, the Arrow might be best. But if your oldest child is 10 and your youngest is 5, go for the Dart. And for those of you who have kids who are more wide ranging, like maybe you have a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old or a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old, you might want to buy one program like the Arrow for your older child and buy the Dart for your younger child. But then what you do is you alternate months. So 1 month you do the Arrow, 1 month you do the Dart, and you'll have 2 years worth of material and you'll just go every other month. Alternatively, you could buy one program and then buy individual issues, darts that come out once a month, and just pick a few. So we will talk more about that at the end, but I just wanted you to know you don't have to be rigid about these age ranges. Really listen to the stories, the story abbreviations I'm telling you about. Go do your own research and pick based on the book titles you know your kids will enjoy listening to. And then you can easily modify up or down the contents in the Dart and the Arrow. We give you suggestions even for how to do that. Okay, good. So there you go, The Lion of Mars. Okay, onward. We are now in January. So to recap, shall we recap or do you want me to just keep going? I'll recap really quick. So for the Dart so far, we've had The One and Only Bob in August, Rickshaw Girl in September, Skunk and Badger in October, Peacemaker in November, and finally, the Heartwood Hotel in December. That's for the Dart. And then for the Arrow, I know we had some people pop in late, so we're just gonna whip through these and then we'll do second semester. Okay, So for August, Amari and the Night Brothers. Shakespeare Stories by Leon Garfield for September. These are arrows now. Before the Ever After for October by Jacqueline Woodson. Ancestor Approved for November. And finally, The Lion of Mars for December. All right, here we go, January 2022. Hard to even imagine that year. And here's a little more confetti. Woo! Okay. The Dart. Trees can't tell jokes, can they? But they can certainly tell stories. Red is an oak tree that is many rings old. People write wishes on pieces of cloth and tie them to Red's branches, along with a crow named Bongo and other animals who seek refuge in Red's hollows. This, wait for it, wish tree watches over the neighborhood. And here's what I love about this book. So many of you recommended it to us, so we already know it's a winner. Catherine Applegate is at her very best, funny, deep, warm, and nuanced. Writing from the Heart, Wish Tree by Catherine Applegate. That is a dart. Our arrow for January goes like this. Our main character has a lot of secrets. Number one, she lives in a motel, not a big house. Every day while her immigrant parents clean the rooms, our 10-year-old main character manages the front desk of the Cala Vista Motel and tends to its guests. Number two, her parents hide immigrants. And if the mean motel owner finds out they've been letting them stay in the empty rooms for free, the Tangs will be doomed. Number three, she wants to be a writer, a girl after my own heart. But how can she when her mom thinks she should stick to math because English is not her first language? Yep, you are all guessing it. Front Desk by Kelly Yang. It's a scholastic book. It is a Newbery winner, and I think you will find this book delightful and helpful. Arrow for January. All right, February is here. This next book gives Ramona Quimby a run for her money. Picture this plucky young girl navigating school, self-image, and especially her own family. Her dad has a new job, but money is so tight, they sell the second car and move into a new old house. But this main character knows how to make sunshine out of setbacks. In fact, she inspires her brother to write a rap about her. She's got the talent that matters most. It's a talent that can't be seen. She's nice, not mean. Okay, I'm not a rapper. We've established that right away. One of my favorite children's writers, Renee Watson, writes her own version of Ramona, and you guessed it, it's the start of another series, Ways to Make Sunshine. We are so excited about this book, and I am super excited for you to get to know the main character named Ryan Hart. Okay, that's a dart for February. The dart for the arrow is by my very favorite children's writer currently, middle grade writer. He is the cat's meow. His writing is sublime. His story is incredible. I have met him in person. I've interviewed him. I've taken pictures with this author. Okay, I don't know if anyone has guessed who it is yet, but here's the story, and then we'll see if you can figure out who the author is. Who here knows the name Cassius Clay? Do you know who that person becomes? Muhammad Ali. That's right, the greatest fighter of all time. This book is a powerful story of Muhammad Ali's life while he was still Cassius Clay as a child up to age 17. And it is written by none other than Kwame Alexander plus James Patterson. And they alternate between poetry and prose. I mean, come on, stop already. I met Kwame Alexander at the Writer's Digest conference where I got my agent for my book, The Brave Learner. And he and I had this wonderful conversation. I interviewed him. It's on my podcast many seasons ago. He's awesome. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you're missing out. This book is incredible. So I highly recommend it. Arrow for February. Okay. becoming Muhammad Ali. Yeah, he's the best. He's literally the best. He's such a good speaker. Okay, March, we ready? Woo! I love this next one because the name of the main character is very similar to the name I had when I was in Spanish class in junior high. There's a little clue for ya. Let's see if you can figure it out. This 9-year-old is finally about to put a purple pin in her family's world traveling map. She's off to Paris to help her art handler dad collect pieces for a new exhibit at the Boston Museum of Fine Arts. Sadly, they must leave her very pregnant mother behind, but they're sure they'll be back soon when the baby is born. This book takes readers on a tour of the best of Paris, one of my favorite cities in the world, the Eiffel Tower, the Sacré-Cœur, and plenty of great art. But things go awry when she and dad walk in on a thief, stealing the Louvre's most prized piece, a priceless cursed diamond with a shady history. Hijinks and a mystery follow for Julieta and her dad. Can they discover who the thief is? The name of this book, Julieta and the Diamond Enigma. This is the March book for the Dart, Julieta and the Diamond Enigma. I think you are going to have so much fun traveling all over with Julieta and her father. Okay. But what about the arrow for March? Oh, can we just pause? I already know how happy you're going to be. I just know when Don and I were like, yes, we have to put this book in because we just know what makes you all happy. Okay, another series we couldn't resist. We know how much your kids love these books. Let's see if you can guess. While Isa is off at Sleepaway Orchestra Camp, Jesse, Oliver, Hyacinth, and Lainey are stuck at home in the brownstone with nothing to do but get on one another's nerves. That's right, the Vanderbeekers and the Hidden Garden. When catastrophe strikes their beloved neighbors upstairs, their sleepy summer transforms in an instant as the Vanderbeeker children band together to do what they do best, make a plan. They will create the most healing, magical garden in all of Harlem. This is not considered book 2. It is considered a companion. Experience the warmth of the family and community as they work together to bring a little more kindness and beauty into the world, one thwarted plan at a time. This is such a popular series, and I hope you'll really enjoy it. All right, only 2 more books for the Dart and 2 more for the Arrow, which means whoa, a little more confetti. All right, you guys are doing great. I'm so happy that you are all still here. Gina says that was the second Vanderbeekers that was written. So there you go. Glad to hear that. Okay, April, Dart. Our next book features a boy protagonist faced with an international move from his beloved homeland in Ann Arbor, Michigan. In lyrical prose, from a close third-person perspective, the author poignantly captures Aref's impressions of and reflections on the people, places, and experiences he will leave behind, such as the ocean view from his house's roof, his cat, Mishmash, and conversations with his beloved grandfather. Praised by the Hornbook as both quiet and exhilarating, this novel by the acclaimed poet and National Book Award finalist Naomi Shihab Nye follows Aref al-Amri as he says goodbye to everyone and everything he loves in his hometown of Muscat, Oman. The Turtle of Oman by Naomi Shihab Nye. I did practice. I'm just filled with adrenaline. The Turtle of Oman. This is the Dart for April. Okay. The next book is truly beautiful for the Arrow. Such an original conception and plot, and it's based in history, which is amazing to me. The next book may have the most intriguing plot of all. Deaf author and librarian Anne Claire Lizotte weaves an own voices story inspired by the true history of a thriving deaf community on Martha's Vineyard in the early 19th century. Mary Lambert has always felt safe and protected on her beloved island of Martha's Vineyard. Her great-great-grandfather was an early English settler and the first deaf islander. Now, over 100 years later, many people there, including Mary, are deaf, and nearly everyone can communicate in sign language. Mary has never felt isolated. She is proud of her lineage, but recent events have delivered winds of change. Mary's brother died, leaving her family shattered. Tensions over land disputes are mounting between English settlers and the Wampanoag people. And a cunning young scientist has arrived, hoping to discover the origin of the island's prevalent deafness. This book is called Show Me a Sign, and it is by Anne-Claire Lizotte. Show Me a Sign. I think it seems like this book may be the most intriguing one that we have on any of our book lists, and I really look forward to hearing what you and your families think of it. This is the arrow for April. Okay. We are at the final books. Woo-hoo! We wait so long. And then the hour flies by, and we are so excited. Okay, so we're going to do the last confetti. Ready? Have your kids get ready to watch this one. Ready? Here we go. Woo! Right over my head. Okay. May 2022, this is what you're going to be reading. The Dart, A Girl, an Iguana, an Island, an Email. Anybody know what it is? Meet our main character, a modern day Robinson Crusoe. She can chop down bananas with a machete, climb tall palm trees, and start a fire with a piece of glass. So she's not afraid when her scientist dad sails off to study plankton for 3 days, leaving her alone on her island. You all have guessed it, Nims Island. It is by Wendy Orr. And a very slim volume because we know how you are in May. Right? You need something that is fun, that ends the year on a light note, and that does not take you all month to read, right? May is the worst. But I think you will be compelled because it's also a motion picture, and that's really fun. You can read and watch. All right, so that's Nims Island. And then the final arrow for the year circles back to the second book that we talked about. Do you remember what that was? It was Shakespeare Stories, and the name of this book. Now that you've had an encounter with Shakespeare, it's time to do something that we love to do with the Bard stories, recast them in a new contemporary setting. Can Mimi undo the mayhem caused by her baking in this contemporary fantasy retelling of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream? 11-year-old Mimi Maxon comes from a big Indian American family. Dad is a renowned food writer. Mom's a successful businesswoman, and her 3 older siblings all have their own respective accomplishments. It's easy to feel invisible in such an impressive family, but Mimi's dream of proving she's not the least talented member of the family seems possible when she discovers a contest at the new bakery in town. When Mimi's dad returns from a business trip, he mysteriously lost his highly honed sense of taste. Without his help, Mimi will never be able to bake something impressive enough to propel her to gastronomic fame. Drawn into the woods, remember Midsummer Night's Dream, behind her house by a strangely familiar song, Mimi meets Vic, a boy who brings her to parts of the forest she has never seen. Who knew there were banyan trees and wild boars in Massachusetts? Together, they discover exotic ingredients and bake them into delectable and enchanting treats. And so on. There's even a little romantic pas de deux. It is delightful and will show you sort of this range where you can go from classic literature to modern literature, sort of building that cultural cache that we hope our kids will have so that they can, as they get older, get all the jokes. That's the whole point of a great history lesson in literature. You want your kids to be in on the jokes. All right. Oh my gosh. Can you even? I mean, this was an amazing tour, was it not? So we have made it through all the darts, all the arrows, and I hope that you are excited about these book lists. So what I would like to do now, before we recap the books, for those of you who are late, is simply go over a couple of things that you need to know, because we're having such a big special right now in Brave Writer. Last year, during the month of June, we announced that you will get full-time membership free for the rest of your life to Brave Learner Home, our membership community, if you purchased either the Dart or the Arrow year-long program. We decided to redo that offer this year. So if you purchase the Dart or you purchase the Arrow for 2021 to 2022 for $129, you're in like Flynn forever to our membership community that has 8,000 people in it. We have staffed up, added new coaches. We've got all kinds of things slated for this year to support you while you are doing these programs. We coach you in copy work, dictation, spelling, punctuation, grammar, literary devices, reading aloud, how to maximize the reading comprehension, discussion questions. All of that happens in that space. And we give it to you for free for a lifetime, so you never have to think about paying for it. Our goal is to support the people who make the investment in this program. So we would love you to join us. And I'm going to do the big woohoo, welcome to Brave Learner Home this coming Friday. So that if you want to be there live and be in on that early mojo energy, this is the week to sign up. We will automatically add you to the Brave Learner Home and to the folder where you will eventually download all of these arrows and darts that go with these amazing books. Now, just know this, your login information for Brave Learner Home and Dart and Arrow are the same. Your login information for online classes, not the same. That's a different part of our website. So once you make this purchase, you will look for the email instructions that help you get logged in correctly to both the Brave Learner Home and to where you'll pick up your Dart and your Arrow. We have these beautiful, brand new, redesigned profile pages that are like your own personal dashboard. So you'll be able to find all that stuff easily. Each arrow, each boomerang, each dart, each slingshot, all of our programs, they come out on the first of the month, starting in August. We will supply you with guidelines that go with the program in July so that you can spend July reading, getting excited, and being ready to start right on the first. And then you'll know how the program works. Of course, if you have any questions, you just hop into our community space, post them in the community discussion board, and one of our very well-trained and qualified staff members will get you back on your writing way so that you don't get confused. I used to joke all the time that one of the things that drove me crazy about homeschooling is I had a teacher's manual, but I had nobody to ask questions to. So Mr. Saxon gives me his Saxon math, but I have one question about the teacher manual and he didn't give me a phone number. He didn't give me a community discussion board where I could ask good questions. We give that to you. The Brave Learner Home is like a living and breathing teacher's manual just for you. So if you're not a member yet, I invite you to buy one of these programs, join us, and become a meaningful member. In addition to supporting the curriculum, we also have webinars to train you to be an awesome adult, a compassionate parent, and an effective home educator overall. We invite amazing people to come share with us every single month, sometimes even New York Times bestsellers. We've had a couple of those kind of people also. So I really, really look forward to having you come into that space and to using our program. The books do not come with the Dart and the Arrow. You are purchasing the digital file downloads, and those will be available to you starting on August 1st, and then each first of the month from August all the way through May. Once we publish one of those issues, it also simultaneously is in our literature singles part of the store. So you can purchase some of these a la carte. So let's say you buy the Arrow program, but you wanted 2 of the darts. You just wait till they publish and you can buy them a la carte for $14.95. So I hope that helps you get a strong sense. I want to remind everyone that we will have this at the top. Let me start over. I want to remind everyone that also in June, we are partnering with Summer Camp Reading, a local Cincinnati program that is bringing equity in education, reading and writing joy to the under-resourced communities of our city. And we are providing $15,000 of a $29,000 fundraising campaign. And we invite you to participate with us so that we can be responsible to pay for the whole thing. It's going to help build out their website and their online services to families who cannot attend in person. So we invite you to participate. Go to bravewriter.com/donation, bravewriter.com/donation, and that will take you there. Thank you so, so much for attending live. I love your kids. I used up all of my confetti. We are thrilled to have you. And I hope that you will follow me on Instagram and follow Brave Learner Home on Instagram. My Instagram is @JulieBraveWriter. Brave Learner Home is @BraveLearnerHome. We are so thrilled to be able to participate in your family's educations. You have no idea. Thank you for being here live. Goodbye, everybody.